Now and Later is a brand of square, taffy-like candy chews which I see on occasion when I'm walking through the grocery store. I've always found it an interesting name for a candy. They come individually wrapped, and they're packaged together in bags and buckets and tubes. The implication is that one might eat a square or two now and then save the rest for later. And in fact, according to the website candyblog.net, the original tagline of the candy was, "Eat some now, save some for later." It's been a very long time since I've had a Now and Later, but as I recall, I did like the candies, but they were hardly my favorite. The title of favorite candy went to gummy bears and all of their cousins, like gummy cherries, gummy peaches, gummy snakes, and especially gummy cola bottles. I'm salivating just thinking about those. I snacked on gummy bears like they were candy. The idea of eating some now and saving the rest of the package just simply wasn't an option for my younger self. I would eat until either my teeth hurt or the package was empty. It was as simple as that. Of course, I recognize the damage that so much sugar consumption could and did in fact cause. As a teenager and a young adult, I was a bit overweight and I had my fair share of cavities. Yet, I often couldn't help myself. When the candy came a-calling, I was committed to its consumption. Obviously, something had to change. I had to come to terms that my predilection for candy was more than just a "it tastes good, so I'll eat it" kind of problem. For me, the consumption of candy was less about low impulse control and more about low self-esteem. I sucked on sweets because it was a salve on my scarred soul, and candy isn't exactly a very good substitute for self-esteem. It took a long while, but eventually I came to terms with the notion that eating sweets now wasn't going to help me later. My present self, at that moment of crisis, was indulging in bad behavior that would ultimately hinder my future self. My now had to change so that my later could be better. And my now had to change in a way that promoted my self-esteem rather than wore away at it in an unsatisfying, saccharine, self-abusive sort of manner. I had to give up candy. I had to give up a lot of things, actually. Laziness, apathy, other indulgences, and especially self-pity. Candy was just a start. It was just a symptom. I'd like to say that quitting candy was easy, but you kind of already know where this is all going to go, right? Making any sort of change, especially something that is as deeply rooted in the issues of your own ego, is never quick, it's never easy, and it's always a challenge. My penchant for sugar never went away. Even today, when I'm around an open bowl of sweet treats, my basic inclination is still to consume it. And the difference is that after years of working on myself through self-help, professional help, medical help, and the help of many, many friends, I'm able to hold off on indulging myself now so that I can feel better about myself later. And it's not to say that I don't eat the occasional sweet, because there's a flip side to this all. It's good to enjoy yourself in the present moment so that your future self can have fonder memories. Think about how your future self might recall any single event. If your future self might have a bad memory of it, then consider not doing it. The difference in doing anything is distinguishing if the act comes from a place of mindfulness or from a place of indulgence. So always ask yourself, if you were to do something now, what would you think of yourself later? Remember to respect yourself by restraining yourself, but also let yourself have some genuine fun too. Enjoy a Now and Later candy every once in a while. Just don't overdo it now, because you may come to regret it later. Thank you so much.